Once upon a time, in a remote village, there lived an honest and hard-working farmer. His only source of livelihood was his rice field. Year after year, he toiled diligently to produce a good harvest and always set aside some rice for the future. He firmly believed that a good life was impossible without savings. Beside the farmer's house stood an old wooden storage shed where he kept his stored rice. Though the shed was sturdy, a clever rat living underground managed to gnaw a small hole in its soft wooden walls. At first, the rat secretly took 1 or 2 grains of rice at a time. As its confidence grew, it started stealing handfuls of rice daily. Within weeks, its burrow was filled with stolen rice. One day, another rat from a neighboring burrow came to visit and was astonished to see the stash of rice. It asked in surprise, "Where did you get all this rice?" The clever rat hesitated at first, but then, feeling proud, boasted, "I used my intelligence to gather this. Every day I took a little from the human's granary." Hearing this, the other rat became greedy. It thought, "If I befriend this rat, I too can share in this treasure." So it said, "Then you must be our leader. We've never seen a rat as intelligent as you." Pleased with the flattery, the clever rat grew even more arrogant. Soon, news of its success spread, and other rats from the area gathered to meet this great leader. They showered it with praise. "You are truly a leader. You should be our chief. There is no rat smarter than you. Your words will be our law." Hearing such admiration, the rat became even more prideful. It began walking with its head held high, convinced of its superiority. Now it no longer stole rice itself. Instead, it ordered other rats to do the work for it. But this happiness did not last long. After some time, the farmer noticed that his stockpile of rice was depleting. At first, he thought he had miscalculated how much he had stored, but soon he realized that something was stealing his rice. Observing carefully, he discovered a small hole near the rice pile. At once, he knew that rats were responsible. Without making a fuss, the farmer quietly moved all his remaining rice to a secure container, which he then buried under the ground, making sure the rats would never find it. Meanwhile, the arrogant rat had grown so complacent that it no longer paid attention to its supply. It believed the rice would last forever. But when the last grain of rice from its hoard was gone, reality hit hard. When the rat tried to gather more rice, it was shocked to find nothing left. The entire storage area was empty. It frantically searched, but couldn't find a single grain. Panicked, it rushed to inform its followers. But when the other rats discovered that their leader had no more rice, they began abandoning it one by one. "You told us your rice would never run out," one rat scoffed. "Why should we follow you now? You have nothing left to offer," said another. By evening, the once proud rat was completely alone. Those who once sang its praises had vanished. Now it could neither steal rice nor maintain its false pride. After starving for several days, in utter despair, the arrogant rat banged its head against the wall and died. The farmer, finally relieved, let out a sigh of satisfaction. He realized that honesty and hard work were a person's greatest assets, and that those who live in arrogance are destined to fall. This story teaches us that arrogance is the root of downfall. If one seizes another's wealth, in the end, sorrow comes. Without savings, the future is dark, and spending according to income is the wise thing to do.